So I want to share with you today what I've simply entitled the journey to wealth creation. The journey to wealth creation, or the journey to financial freedom. And like I said, it's a journey. Wherever we stop, we stop. You get the other things in the materials. The journey, because what I want to deal with today is to deal with the software. Because once the software is settled, once the engine is settled, every other thing will take shape. Because when you want to study, there are different ways to learn. One of the ways to learn is emulation. You emulate what somebody else is doing. One of the ways to learn is observation. You observe what other people are doing. You know, when we start learning, when you go to school, when the children start in the elementary school, the first thing they do is to begin to scribble. They begin to scribble. They just scribble. Why? Because they are trying to connect their hands to their brain. There's a connection. It's like when you have a mouse and you want to make connection. So they begin to scribble. And the next thing they begin to do is to begin to give them numbers and figures. So they do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, or A, B, C, D, A for apple. Now, you find out that the 26 alphabet, A to Z, every word that have ever existed, every word that exists, and every word that will ever exist in the English language come from those words. So once you know A to Z, you have the engine. You have all the potential. What you now need is to know what BOY means or what BALL means. But all the things you need are there. Same thing, 0 to 9 is where all the numbers will come from. 0 to 9. Every other thing is a combination of that 0 to 9. So what I want to do today is to give you the A to Z and 0 to 9. Give you the engine. And once you have that engine, then you begin to, some of the engine you will get today, we just bring perspective to what you say, okay, no wonder. You just begin to click them together. Bones will begin to locate bones. And out of the valley of dry bones, an army shall rise. So let's start. When it comes to wealth creation, there are 5 people on the journey to financial freedom. Now, on the pyramid of wealth, there are 5 levels. In moving to financial freedom, the people at the bottom are the people that we call they are in financial crisis. Financial crisis. And that's where majority of people live. United Nations have defined living in poverty as living below $2 a day. And living below $1 a day is extreme poverty. So in Africa today, about 75% of people on the continent live in poverty. In Nigeria today, 81%. Right now, about 74% of Nigerians are below the age of 35. Our median age now is oscillating between 18, 19. So we are a young continent, we are a young population. So many people on the continent are poor. They are in that level of what? Financial crisis. Take home cannot take them home. When you are in the place of financial crisis, you lack everything that you need. It's characterized by lack, insufficiency, hardship, debts, begging, urgent 2K. Can I send my account number? That's the level where many people are. And you find out that for anyone that is gainfully employed, even if you earn minimum wage, you'll be amazed at how many people will be asking you for money. And you're asking them, how do you think me I'm surviving? If I have money, you think my life will be like this? So financial crisis. So if you're in that level in your life right now where you have no source of income, or your source of income is not even enough to take care of the basic needs, and you have to borrow and beg to survive, you are in financial crisis. Second level is financial instability. Financial instability. Financial instability is where we have another massive group of people. Those in financial instability are people that actually have a job. They have a job, they have a source of income. But at the end of the day, by the time they get the income, it's not enough to take care of their needs. It's not enough to take care of the basic needs that they require to live a normal kind of life. So people in financial instability are people that if for any reason they lose their job, or if for any reason an unexpected expenses shows up in their life, they are going to be in crisis. So they end up borrowing money from cooperative against the salary for the next 3 months. They collect staff loan not to buy a car, not to buy land, but to do the burial. And then before you know it, they borrow money to pay hospital bill for their wife that was pregnant. And you have all kinds of issues. So you have people, they are laboring. They wake up very early in the morning. They come back late at night. They are hardworking. But when they walk like an elephant, they eat like an ant. The third set of people are people that are in financial stability. Financial stability. And I'm going to spend a while to discuss these people because that's where majority of what we call high net worth individuals in this country are. And that's one of the most deceptive level. And I'm going to explain. Now, please listen. Are you ready for this? People in financial stability have stable job and stable income. They probably even have a house of their own. They have cars. They travel abroad. Their children are in private schools. They have some savings. Now, listen to this, because that's where many people, when he was talking about somebody that will have 24 cars and they are doing keke, that's how it happened. Let me help you. Now, listen. People that are in financial stability, they have good jobs. They have good income. Let me tell you something. There are people that are earning 5 million every month. Some 8 million. Some 12 million every month in this country. Lega, senior manager. Those are the people in financial stability. They are the most deceived set of people. You know why they are the most deceived set of people? Because every 4 weeks, millions show up. By virtue of the job they do, by virtue of the connections they have, they've been able to build networks with people. They travel. They are widely traveled. Some of them, by virtue of their job, the job even includes traveling. Every month they're in one country or the other. And those bills are being paid by the company. Official car, official coffin, official house, official, everything is official. But the problem is, this group of people, the day they lose their job like this, 90 days later they are poor. That's the problem. Why? Because everything that produces money for them is through hand income. That means they have to be physically present. They have to labor for that money to show up. They don't have anything that produces for them outside of their labor. That's why they are the most deceived set of people. Because they are the ones that everybody celebrates in the society. They are the big boys. They call them high net worth individuals. So if you are sitting down here right now, all the income in your life comes from salary and earned income. You are a poor man potentially. It's only a matter of time. So to support this big boy, you are not a big boy. You are a boy of God. Let God help you so that you can. Hello. Then we'll move to the next one, number 4. Financial independence. Financial independence. And this is where we should be pursuing. Financial independence. Now, when you are in financial independence, it's the realm you get to in life where the income, please note the use of words, the income from your assets and your investments is enough to take care of all your needs and more. So what do I mean by that? It means you don't have to do any work at all. It means that the investments you have, it means that the assets you have acquired, the return from that investment and the income and cash flow from that asset is enough to take care of all your needs and more. So at that realm is the realm where you have enough income from your assets and from your investment that takes care of everything that you need, and you still have more left over. That's why your journey should be to asset and investment. Asset. We'll get there. And finally, the last level is financial freedom. Financial freedom. At the level of financial freedom, you have come into that level in your life where the income from your assets and your investment is not just enough for you. It's enough for as many people as want to eat from you. As many people. So when you see billionaires today setting up a foundation, and they now employ 22 people, 70 people, 150 people are being employed for all purpose to come and share money. Say, I've made so much money. Now I'm setting up a foundation. Every year I'm going to give you 10 billion. Help me look for where there are courses that we need to go. That is a realm. It's called financial freedom. And guess what? Are you telling me that God will create you and leave you at the bottom and unbelievers will be at the top? No. He says you have caused men to ride over our heads. We've gone through fire, we've gone through water, but you are bringing us out into a wealthy place. But one of the things that God began to help me to understand, he says, son, I'm the creator of all, but the savior of some. And as a creator, I have a responsibility to my creation, regardless of what they think about me. So God is the one that created everyone. I can tell you for free, there is no rich and wealthy man on earth today. The principles they apply, they are the principles of the kingdom. Hello? Principles are universal. Anywhere you are, principles are universal, but the application of those principles are personal, contextual, and geographical. Principles are universal. The law of gravity. So whether you jump up in Lagos, or you jump up in Abuja, or you jump up in Tokyo, or you jump up in Hong Kong, or you jump from Australia, you are coming down. Whether you are male or female, you are coming down. It's not a respect of persons. Principles are universal, but the application of those principles, number one, they are personal. When you hear a principle, that's why a lot of people, because they don't understand this breakdown, they get confused. They say, I don't understand. Oh, this motivational speaker, aspire to acquire. Hey, they just be motivating people. And I don't understand. I've read that book. It didn't work for me. No. When you read any book, you get any information, get the meat of it, which is the principle. When you have gotten the principle, you now ask yourself, personally, how does it relate to me? Because there are principles you will hear that you cannot yet apply. Hello? Because when the principle came, it met you below ground zero. So if I tell you now, you need to save 10% of your income, is it not somebody that has income that will save? So don't judge me for telling you to save. Understand that, I need to save, but God, you know I don't have income first. So now I know that when I start having income, I have to say, so Lord, let's shelve that principle first. Settle me with income first. When income starts, then I will start saving. Not that you say it's a lie. It's not a lie. It's your life that is a lie yet. So principles are universal, but the application is what? Personal. Number two is contextual. What's your context? You are a single parent with 4 children and an irresponsible man. And somebody else is married to a man that takes care of all the bills. The way you will practice the principle will differ. 2 years ago, we had a lady come into the Billionaires Conclave, our annual conference. She was invited by her friends. She came into that meeting. When she came in, we were looking at her deck top. You know, some people, when they come, they look billions. And then it was open house session to ask questions. She said, I have a question. She said, I don't understand. See, my friend told me that when she joined you people in 2 years, her life changed. And I know her, it has changed. So I said, let me come and see what magic you people want to perform in this Nigeria. See, so when I came yesterday and I heard everybody talking billion, I said, in this same Nigeria, are these people foreigners? He said, so I want to ask a question. He said, the whole of last year, she said, the whole of last year, the turnover from all my business is less than 5 million in this Nigeria. And these people are talking billion. Sir, are you people using something? So I said, let me start by answering your question. Yes, we are using something. Everybody's using something. Just be sure the one you are using is the right one. Because you are either in the secret court or you are in the secret place. If you are not using something, somebody is using something against you. And so we are using something. We are using faith. We are using prayer. We are using fasting. We are using holiness. We are using service to God. We are using communion. We are using something. I said, but that being said, let me ask you a question. Are you married? She said, yes. Your husband is comfortable and takes care of all your needs? She said, yes. I said, that's why you can never be rich. She looked at me. I said, yes, because wealth is not sexually transmitted. So I said, my sister, that's why you can't make it. I said, number one, wealth is not sexually transmitted. I said, number two, many of you in Africa, you are raised to depend on your husband. It's only when the man cannot take care of you, you start thinking that you two should do something. As long as the man can take care of everything, many of you just settle down. Oriaku, doziaku. I said, so listen to me. I said, you don't have a great enough why to become successful. I said, no matter how much you labor, everything you can do to increase your income, when the stress is too much, you give up, because what are you looking for? I said, if you are a single parent with 3 children without any help from anywhere, and even your parents and your siblings are looking up to you, I say your brain will wake up. You will make money. I say, people like you, soft life is the software that kept you poor. She said, so what do I do? I say, readjust your why. I say, your husband will not be poor. He's already rich. There's nothing wrong enjoying your husband's money. I say, and you don't need money because you don't have a strong why. I say, let your children become your why. I said, make up your mind as you live here today that by the time I said, how old is your children? She told me, I said, okay. I said, settle it today that on the 18th birthday of your son, you are going to hand him over 1 billion naira. On the 18th birthday of your daughter, you are going to hand over to her 1 billion naira. So everything you are doing now, you are running against 18 years birthday of your son and your daughter. That was 2 years ago. The year after, she did about 60 something. This last year, she did almost 200 million in turnover in 2 years. Now, are we using something? Yes. Knowledge, ignition. Now she has a stronger why. In 2 years. What is your why? So principles are universal. But the application is what? Personal, contextual, and geographical. What is your geography? Oh, buy land, real estate is very powerful. Not in Ukraine now. Hello? So no matter now Ukraine we can't be buying land now. Hello? We're in Gaza. We can't be buying land now. So even though the principle is true, look at your context. Look at your context. One of our mentees in the Billionaires Conclave is a farmer in this country. Right now, the only thing he has for the past 10 years is his money in fixed deposit. I'm talking of a billionaire that has over 7,000 hectares of land in this country. But when the herdsmen came, even his land in the state where he is, you are there, he has not entered his farm for 5 years. Something that he invested over 10 billion in. At the age of 71, he was still here last year crying. He said, sir, what do I do? I'm 71. He said, all my life, if they told me, he said, the only money I have, all the thing I have is just 4 point something billion. He said, look at my life, and dollar is messing up my money. I said, it's time to invest and buy properties in the US and buy property abroad so that you can be getting rent in dollars, or else that's the way you will see your money dwindle before your very eyes. So let's go deeper. So when it comes to wealth, there are what we call the facts, global facts about wealth creation. So let's go deeper into the ABC and the 0 to 9 now. And once you understand this global fact, it becomes the software that helps you. Number one, there is a wealthy place. There is a wealthy place. Don't ever fall for the trap of scarcity. Scarcity is a scam. Believing that there's scarcity is a scam. So if you believe there's no money in this country, you are of all men most deceived. Nigeria is one of the richest countries in the whole world. Rich both in money, rich in human capital, rich in natural resources. In which country will people steal the way they steal in Nigeria and the country will still be existing? So number one, there is a wealthy place. Don't ever believe that there is poverty. No. There is no money. That's not true. If you say you don't have money, you are right. If you say there's no money in your bank account, you are right. But to say there's no money, you are wrong. Because all the money in the world is still in the world. Monies don't travel. Aliens did not come to collect it. So if it's not with you, it's with somebody. Hello? Everybody is not a thief, sir. So number one, there is a wealthy place. So settle it that there is a wealthy place. And that wealthy place is not a geographical location. It's a state in life where you have all that is required to fulfill your assignment on life, in this world. Money is nothing but a tool for the fulfillment of purpose. So you don't need money greater than your purpose. It's nothing but a tool for the fulfillment of purpose. Number two, there is a path that leads to the wealthy place. Number one, there is a wealthy place. Number two, there is a path that leads to the wealthy place. Every one of us is here today. The only reason why you are here is because you knew the address. Hello? You knew the address, but we did not all come through the same route. So there is a path that leads to the wealthy place. Your path is not my path. That's why you need to read books, read why, so that you discover the available paths and know which one aligns with you. Some people make money by inheritance. Some make money by marriage. Some make money through their career, some through investment. Some through sheer hard work. Some through opportunity meeting with preparation. So there are different paths. But one path cannot be all our paths. So there is a path that leads to the wealthy place. So it's your responsibility to identify which path and then begin the journey. And it's only a matter of time. Number three, wealth is created. Wealth is created. Wealth does not suddenly fall on anybody's lap. Nobody wakes up and suddenly realizes they're wealthy. Why? Because any money you don't have the wisdom to make, you will not have the wisdom to manage it. That's why lottery winners become poor. That's why people that inherit money, when they are not well taught, that's why they end up becoming poor. So wealth is what? Wealth is created. So you must take responsibility to tell yourself, this wealth will create it. And then you start the journey. Number five, wealth creation takes time. Number four, wealth creation. Now, is it okay? Number four, wealth creation takes time. Wealth creation takes time. The reason why many of us are where we are is get rich quick scheme. Did you hear that brother's testimony? He carried all his life savings. Put down for that, say one blow. In this kingdom, we don't blow, we grow. Everything that blows scatters and disintegrates. Balloons blow, bombs blow. We pick up the fragments. Hello? Wealth creation takes time. They have been selling land before your great-grandfather was born. Have you bought one? But you hear crypto, you want to enter. You hear forex, you want to enter. Why? Because the software running you is covetousness and greed. So covetousness and greed. Why are you interested in forex and crypto and you have never bought one plot? Hello? When we used to come to take pictures here, this place was a forest. If you know the kind of foresight that brought the man and the woman of God here to buy this kind of land, we used to come here to take pictures. Look at everywhere now. A city today was a village yesterday. A village today will be a city tomorrow. You don't wait to buy land. You buy land and wait. You're already an ancestor in the making. In 50 years' time now, you will be dead. They will be breaking generational curse on your head. Why don't people buy land? Oh, that place is a bush. You know, before that place, it will take like 10 years. Hello, ma. In the last 10 years, what have you achieved? Hello? So, wealth creation does what? It takes time. When you see us today, and you wonder, where are these people getting money from? We can tell you where we got the money from. Hello? I have 70 acres of land in this city. Genesis Estate, just on New Road, there. When I came to buy that land in 2007, I bought one plot for 50,000 naira. I paid for 2 years. The land is still there. Now, one plot is 6 million. I still have over 300 plots left. I didn't sell it, I was just selling small. 300 times 6 million. How many of you will wait for 23 years? When my mates were making money in stock market and buying cars, I was just buying land, fencing it. In 2007, I spent 47 million from stock market to fence that estate. It's been fenced since then. Do you know what 47 million was in 2007? And I'm still alive, waiting. So when you see people making money and they are buying this, don't envy anybody. Have you done 23 years of waiting? You want to get married in January, become a mother in February, blow in March. You want to graduate in January, get a job in February, buy Rolls Royce in March. Who did this to you? Who did this to you? Anything meaningful takes time. Anything meaningful takes time. So wealth creation takes time. It does what? It takes time. Number 5. You must become wealthy to attract wealth. I'm going to spend time here, even if this is where we close. I just came to give you the engine. You must become wealthy to attract wealth. One of the major challenges that people are faced in the world is they are always thinking, what must I do to become rich? What must I do to become wealthy? You must become rich to attract riches. You must become wealthy to attract wealth. You cannot attract who you are not. If you are not rich, you cannot attract riches. If you are not wealthy, you cannot attract wealth. As you are on the inside, so you will end up being on the outside. I was on a program a while back to be interviewed, and a young girl, they have different groups of people. So one young girl that was on the platform, we went up, because what you people will watch, you watch the whole thing, you don't know that there is break in between. So they went on break to do powder. I said, sir, there's one question I want to ask. I said, what's the question? He said, no, I will not ask you. They say you're a common sense good. I said, every question you can answer, I will ask you when we are live. I said, if you have a question, just let me know so that I prepare. I didn't know that God was using that to open another chapter. So when we got in, they said, I have a question. That you are saying that nobody, what if Davido gives you 10 million? Are you not rich? I said, no. If Davido gives you 10 million, you have 10 million, but you are not rich. So I began to explain. Why? Because many of you don't realize that any money somebody gives you that is above your level of wisdom, the money will reduce to your level of wisdom. That's why many of you have given money to people and they are still poor and you are wondering. Why? And you have given money to some people and they grew it. If they give you 10 million now and you are not 10 million internally, until that money reduces to your level inside, you will not think well. It's like bungee jumping. You just see that you'll be buying iPhone Pro Max, you'll be buying air, You'll be buying, fixing things that is not lost. I love shoes. I love shoes. You have only 2 legs. You are buying shoes like an octopus. I love shoes. See a lot of guys now, 3 handsets like 419. You don't even have any shares in the telecom industry. Say bearded gang. Beard what? Bearded gang. Then I have 6-pack. You don't have 6-figure. 6-pack. I'm going to the gym and doing muscular prosperity. Ordinary school fees you can't pay. I'm going to the gym. Building physical muscle, no financial muscle. Today the Lord changed your story. So you must become wealthy to do what? To attract wealth. Now listen, let me break down some of the things you have been going through. Becoming is a process that involves a lot of things. I think I'll actually close here. Let me break it down. So, because many of you, this is what you are going through. This is where you are now. You are going through the process of becoming, and you don't understand it because of the things that come with it. So listen. Are you ready for this? This is strong meat now. You can never become a millionaire and live comfortably in the realm of millions until 2 things happen. Number 1, you must lose money in millions. Number 2, you must be ready to give in millions and walk away. If those 2 things has not happened in your life, even if you have millions now, you are still playing. I break it down. What does that mean? You see, when you are going through the educational sector, let's use Nigeria for an example. You go through primary school, but every year, every time you do exam. But for you to leave primary school to go to secondary school or high school, you must go through an external exam. Now, when you enter secondary school, you go through termly exam and annual exam. But for you to leave secondary school and go to university or college, you do what? You do external exam. That's the way life is. As you go through life, you'll be going through tests. If you fail in the day of adversity, it means that your strength is small. But as you go through tests, in order for you to move to the next dimension, you have to go through an external exam, a big one, that may end up wiping out, you had the brother, all the money wiped out. Wipe out all the money you have made for you to start afresh. But when you are starting afresh, what did you say? 0 to 9, right? 0 to 9. When you get to 9, what do you go to? 10. When you get to 10, you are back to 1, but on a different level. Then you go 10, 11, 12, 13. When you are going to 20, 2, you go back to. So that's the way life goes. So many of you, the problem is when you now lose money, you give up. That's the making of you. Because you see, God understands the power of mammon. Whatever you cannot walk away from, you have not conquered. God can never give to you what he cannot get through you. God knows the only thing that God compares with himself is mammon. So one of the reasons why you have to lose money is God will test whether you are after him or after things. But when you are after the hand of God, you keep jumping and struggling. But when you are after the heart of God, he brings down his hand for you to pick. So you've got to understand that. That's the test you have to go through. You will lose in millions. In what? Millions. And you have to give in millions and walk away. It's when God can now trust you with that, millions will become normal. Anytime they are talking million, you just, because you know that you can just write check of 5 million, 10 million. But if you now want to enter billion, get ready. Sit down with Dangote, sit down with $100, sit down with Rabiu, sit down with all the billionaires in Nigeria. They will tell you how they lost billions. So in becoming, that's one thing that will happen. You will lose in that realm you want to enter into, and you have to give and walk away in that realm you want to walk into. Number 3, okay, I've given you, still on that point. Another thing that will happen to make you is that you must be ready to handle betrayers. You must be ready to handle betrayers. You know what the enemy is trying to do? Is to stop you from what will help you. So when you invest in something and you lose money, what many people will now do, I will never invest again. Do you know that this year alone, until a few weeks ago, the stock market this year, since this government came in, stock market has picked up. People are making millions and billions in Nigerian stock market. It has changed now since they changed this monetary policy again with all this treasury bills, stuff that they did this. It has affected the people are putting money back into treasury bill to get 17.5 that is guaranteed. So, but if you don't understand, you don't understand. but those who understand. So now, but guess what? In soccer, there are stocks in Nigeria that has done 500% between January and now. Yeah, 500% in this country. Yeah. But because you lost money in stock, you say, I will never. And you went to do crypto and they kryptonize your life. And you went to do forest and you are still in the forest. So what am I saying? What will happen there is that you have to face betrayal. Betrayal of platforms that you put your trust in, and the platform will fail because God wants to know who is your source. Betrayal of people. You know why? Because the higher you go, the fewer the number of people you need in your life. So God must have to eliminate people that are not qualified for your next level. And He does that by creating situations and circumstances that will reveal who they really are. Some people are only close to you because you are poor. They can't handle a rich you. Hello? Even in marriages, there are families where the husband cannot handle a rich wife. He's only a man because the wife is poor and dependent on him. That's why they're having problem abroad now. When they relocate now, the wife is empowered. The man can't handle it because he doesn't understand. Because in Africa, manhood is equated to ability to provide. Hello? Because that's the confusion. Which one? So you face that test. Another test that you're going to face at that point is kingdom test. Kingdom test. Which is where a lot of people fail. So when you see people arguing about tithe and offering, arguing about first fruits, arguing about sacrifice, you just realize that, your journey far. Listen to me. Corporate income tax is between 35, 40%. Now, capital gains tax, 40%. So if you are really a rich person and you are wealthy, the tax alone, your tax bracket is already 30, 40%. You are arguing about 10. That's why you will remain poor. What God is doing is to tell you how to be able to get to a realm where you are not thinking small. Because by the time they collect 40% capital gains tax, you add 10% tithe, that's already 50% gone. So if you're already arguing about 10, you will end up in jail because you will be looking for a way not to pay tax and they will jail you. So you have to go through the kingdom test. Can God trust you? Can you close your account and drop in church? That brother that closed the account, it just happened that we have a case study. Now, he closed account to invest. Thank God for the story. You know, that's the making that I'm talking about. God made you now. He's telling us testimony. Can you close account to put in a church account? Can you close your account and say, church, God, take? Those are the things you have to go through to determine whether you'll be able to make it or not. Let me give you one more since I have 6 minutes. Next. There are vehicles for wealth creation. There are vehicles for wealth creation. If you are going to create wealth, you have to choose your vehicle. So if you don't mind, if I can have do we have young people in the house? If you are young, okay, I need 4 young people, just young people. When it comes to wealth creation, there are vehicles. I left Lagos this morning and I'm here because I flew. Someone left Lagos yesterday night. He has not arrived. Because it's going by road. If you are going to become wealthy, the vehicle you use determines whether you will arrive or not. So, what's your name?
My name is Celestine, sir.
Celestine is going to the wealthy place. So let's say the wealthy place is Lagos. So Celestine is flying to Lagos. What's your name? Emmanuel says, I can't fly. But let me go and take a bus. So he goes to ABC, Chisco, USA, GG, or what God is good. He goes there, buys tickets, first class. You know, first class, they both ways. You buy first class to go by road. What's your name? Lillian says, you know what? I'm a biker. Bikers gang. So we're going to bike to Lagos. So Lillian decides to take a bike. What's your name? Zion. What God cannot do does not exist. I can do all things through Christ that gives me strength. I am trekking to Lagos. So please, who will get to Lagos first? Celestine. Now, please, I'm breaking it down now. Why? Now, so listen, is it because he's more educated? No. Is it because he's more prayerful? No. Is it because there are no witches in his father's house? No. Is it because he's holy? No. Principles are not respecter of religion. There's a difference between the person of Jesus and the principles of Jesus. The person of Jesus guarantees your peace and your eternity, but it doesn't prosper you. It's the principles of Jesus that prospers you, because you don't need prosperity in heaven. Hello? So in order for you to prosper, you need the principles of Jesus. What has happened is that the world has embraced his principles and they have rejected his person. So they apply the principles of Jesus and they are going through heaven on earth on their way to hell. But you rejected the principle and you embrace the person. You are going to heaven, but you are going through hell on your way to heaven. Hello? Every rich and wealthy man on earth today is the principles of Jesus they are using. Go to MBA, it's all in the Bible. All these principles, it's all biblical principles. Why? He is responsible to his creation. In order for him to perpetuate creation, he put principles in place. He put the principle of sowing and reaping so that he will not need to come and create a tree again. He put the principles of reproduction so that he will not need to create any Adam and Eve again. When a man meets with a woman, he puts the seed in the woman, he puts the soil in the woman, so that when the seed will meet the soil, the womb will procreate and then a child will be born. That is, so whether you are born again or not, you will give birth to a child. Whether you are born again or not, if you plant, you will harvest. Whether you are an atheist or not, the principles work. But if you are not an unbeliever, you are a child of God, and you hold on to prayer and reject the principle, you will still be poor. That's why prayer warriors and intercessors are poor people everywhere. Because they always think that prayer will replace what principle should do. No, ignorance is not a demon. You can't cast it out. So we arrive first. Why? Because of the vehicle he chose. She's going to be last. All things being equal. Hello? So listen to this now as I close. You know why we talk about salary? If you are a salary earner and all you are depending on is your salary, you are trekking to the wealthy place. That's what's happening. You may get there, maybe after 35 years, they will now give you 7 million. After 35 years, they give you 3.5 million. You will now see, for the first time in your life, you will see million put together after 35 years. So all of you that are salary earners, there is nothing wrong in salary, but salary alone keep you trekking. Hello? God forbid. Yeah, so I shall not trek. There are many things that God forbid that life permits, that your actions, your attitudes, and your choices are permitted. So these three now are what I call the trinity of wealth creation. If you want to become wealthy, explore these three things. Number one, entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship. You don't need to start your own business. You can invest in other people's business. Hello? Think about it. Do you know how much microfinance? Oh, sorry, my time is up. Just give me 5 minutes to wrap this up. Do you know how much microfinance charges in Nigeria? 3 to 5%. 5% in a year is 60%. Most of those people that go to microfinance, they pay 60%, and many of them have never defaulted. Many companies cannot do that. So if a woman is paying microfinance 5% per month, and she has done that successfully for a year, for 2 years, that tells you the potential in that business. But because many of them are by the roadside, you look down on them. But these people have 4 children, and they have sent them through school with those things you see by the side of the road. Invest in that business and become a part owner. And say, Mama, if I give you 200 now, how much can you be giving me? You'll be shocked. 200. I go open branch for Use. I go open another branch for Kuba. You'll be shocked that that woman is an entrepreneur. Ingenuity inside her. Hello? Because unfortunately, the educated ones are the tenants, the illiterate are the landlord. Intellectual property or money market or capital market. I put the three together. Intellectual property is coming up with your own brainchild, producing something that belongs to you. I'm an author. I've written over 100 books. I published 58 of them. My books are translated in different languages. So as I'm sleeping, money is coming in different languages, royalty, everything. Why? Intellectual property. Produce something that belongs to you. Come up with your own brainchild. Don't be so excited. I wear Louis Vuitton, I wear Gucci and Gabbana, Dolce and Gabbana. When we wear Nkechi? When are they going to wear Bolaji? So come up with something that belongs to you. Explore the capital markets. Study it, understand it. There's a difference between a stock trader and a stock investor. Understand this thing and begin to play in that field. There's money to be made. Study the money market, treasury bills, fixed deposit, bonds. There's money to be made. Mutual funds, there's money to be made. Don't say everything is a lie, is a lie, is a lie, is a lie. No. And finally, real estate. I play big in real estate on a global scale, and I can tell you real estate is real investment. For everyone that does not have a house of their own, your lordship is in question. Because you have another Lord. Even your Christianity is in question. You know why? Because you are serving Jesus is Lord, and you are serving landlord. As powerful as this meeting now, if your landlord called a tenant meeting, you will not be here. You won't be here. You will call for excuses. Sorry, my landlord is calling all of us. So you want to be rich? Begin to buy land. Go into the forest, go into the bush, buy. Because that bush today will be a city tomorrow. I pray in the name that is above every name that the Lord will give you your portion. Amen. Between now and the end of the year, the grace to rightly apply all that has been shared is released upon you. Amen. And as you go, my God will add favor to your labor. Amen. And you'll become a testimony of this encounter. In Jesus, God bless you. Thank you.